Hello and welcome to this series where we're checking out submissions to the Dungeoncrawler Gamejam of 2023. And this time we will have a look at Project Celestial Arc by ShyVisual, who is the artist of this project, Mandy Lin. And I already checked out the Twitter and there were a couple of other pages here. Let me show you. So the artists did do a game before, Reliquary of Time, and there's also a shop and some other stuff. And I was checking that to see if this art was originally created for the game, and I think so. Well, the game is the art is original. I'm not sure if it was all made for this game specifically, but in any case, a very nice art style in the game. Then we have a programming engine work, Michael McEhan, and I first thought when I looked at these screenshots that this is an RPG Maker game, but it's not. You can see that it's Unity and WebGL, so yeah, I don't think. Maybe they are using some elements in some way, but it doesn't seem to be RPG Maker. And the music is by Even G. Barduja, and yeah, that also sounds very cool. So, let's have a look at the description here. Millie and her team aboard the starship Celestial Arc have just 3 days to explore and save as many creatures as they can from a soon-to-be doomed planet. In accordance with galaxy law, any planet that does not have intelligent lifeforms may be colonized by any humans, including the group on the way, notorious for stripping all resources from a planet and moving on. Project Arc was started by a small group of scientists wanting to preserve the plant and animal life on these planets without civilizations. And then we have 4 predefined characters. Millie, team leader of the group on her first mission with the project. Millie is in a bit of trial by fire, uses light and dark elemental skills. Wild is a captain of the Celestial Arc who can't sit still on the ship, so she joins the ground missions, uses earth and water elemental skills. Saga, a clumsy biologist who prefers to be out in the field doing hands-on work, uses fire and electrical elemental skills. And Layla, former military who now lends her battle expertise to the project, uses ice and wind elemental skills. Gameplay: a first-person dungeon crawler with random battles. Each battle will give you the opportunity to catch an adorable creature using opposing elemental skills to wear them down. Once you've acquired enough capture points, you can pick up the creature to then bring back to your ship. Explore the 3 different biomes on the map to find all 24 creatures. Take them to the safety of your ship and to win the game. Be careful though, they may look cute, but these little things can take you down. All characters dying will lead to a game over and you'll need to restart. Winning battles will level up your characters to make later biomes easier to explore. Alright, controls is WSD arrow keys to move, E to interact with the portal, to return to your ship, to drop off critters and shops. So we cannot strafe because E is already used for interactions. I to access your inventory and use items, select item, click use item, then the character you would like to use it on. Okay, made for Dungeoncrawler Jam 2023 with a theme on duality. We applied the theme in a few ways. Nature versus technology, elementals opposing each other, and a strong reference if you look hard enough. A song reference, sorry. This game was completed in just 1 week, so please keep in mind there may be a few issues due to much caffeine, too little sleep, and having to wrangle 8-month-old puppy. Yeah, regarding the caffeine, yeah. Hope you enjoy it and let us know what you think. We'd love to revisit the game later and change at things, and suggestions are always welcome. Alright, so unfortunately there's no downloadable version, so I will play it as this web in this web interface, but I already struggled before when I wanted to check something that I cannot maximize it and minimize it again. And then I mean, I could do that, but I could not maximize it again after that, because then the buttons didn't work anymore. So what I will do now is I will go full screen, and then I will stay in full screen. So 1 second. Alright, and I hope that we don't need to check anything else. And let's start the game. Mission log. Stardate April the 13th, 2388. Tomorrow we'll land on a newly discovered planet affectionately named Little Marble. I'm heading out on my first ground mission with Project Arc, and I'll be leading a team. A bit of a trial by fire if you ask me, but I'll do my best. Yeah, very nice art style. We are tasked with collecting 24 of the native species and bringing them back home to the Celestial Ark. Other teams have scouted out the area and collected lots of plant life already. The little creatures we save will come back to the ship and find a lovingly constructed home for themselves. I have also heard the creatures are all adorable, so I can't wait. I get to name them too. I'm a little nervous about this part. I'm not very good with names, but the standards can't be too high. If we call the planet Little Marble, yeah, I will not be the most creative there if I have to name them. The goal is to do this all in 3 days, as we've received word about a mining group coming to the planet. Galactic law says any planet that doesn't home fully intelligent life like humans is up for grabs. This group is known for absolutely destroying everything, not caring about the flora and fauna of these worlds, which is just sad. Though there are reports of man-made ruins on the planet, which raises a lot of questions. Where did they go? My team will be myself, a veteranian, Vildy, a captain of the Celestial Ark. Eek, no pressure. Saiga, a biologist, and Layla, a former military marine. All of us are kitted out with elemental gear. As the scouts have said, the best way to capture the creatures is to counter the elements, to subdue them. Anyway, I'm super excited for tomorrow and should try to get some sleep now. With love, Millie. We're here, finally! Time to explore and catch all these little critters. We'll need to explore using the WS key, WSD, or arrow keys. We should come across the creatures as we walk along at random. We can also access our inventory with I and interact with objects with E. Try this out on the portal to the ship over there. To catch them, we'll need to weaken them with our elemental skills and magic. Using skills that are strong against the creature's base element will give us capture points. Each creature has a different number of capture points needed, so we'll have to figure that out. Getting enough capture points will allow us to then subdue and capture them, right? We'll have to carry them back to the ship once we have them. Be careful though. Using an element that the creature isn't weak to will damage it. We don't have room for every single one on the ship though, so we'll have to just knock some out to move on. Let's get to it and figure it out as we go. Alright, so we have a mini-map to the top right. Our group is on the right side. The movement is super slow, unfortunately. Yeah, this might be a bit painful. I think escape is actually getting me out of the game, so I must not do that. I'm not sure if there's a menu, otherwise I didn't see anything regarding that. Maybe it would have been nice to also open the inventory by clicking on the characters, but we can press I. And we've got these potions here, alright. And we can then click on the character who is supposed to use it. Okay, but now I can't get out of this menu, right? I can just click I again, okay. And with E I can use this thing. And there we can shop and buy stuff. Health potions. We can rescue the stuff we have. And in theory, we can also talk. Yeah, but this seems to be some kind of interface which is used from another thing, I guess. Same as the characters. Yeah, I think that's some kind of template. But I'm also not familiar with... not super familiar with Asian crawlers, so maybe the setup is used in other games, I'm not sure. So, yeah, the random encounters I'm not a fan of. But together with this extremely slow movement, exploration might get very painful. We will see how high the spawn rate is, and if we are actually fighting against the monsters we need, or like if we have 23 of the creatures and we need to find the last one, if we have to fight like 100 times to get the right one again. So generally, I'm not a fan of random encounters. Alright, so regarding the perspective, we can barely see the left and right wall. We cannot see the floor we are standing on. So the orientation is also not the greatest, I would say. In combination again with this slow movement that you now, if you are approaching a new tile, and you always also need to check left and right so to see where you can actually go. This of course makes it it takes even more time to look around, and this is also a problem. So yeah, the navigation in the game is unfortunately... Oh, we can use it. Oh, okay, now we are in a fight. The navigation is, yeah, quite bad, unfortunately. The art, on the other end, is very nice. Moose Pup, Coral Slime. Okay, we need to rescue the slime. Do we need to act with all characters? Do we have one active character at the moment? Or do we only... Let's just attack now. And we need to choose who we are attacking. Ah, okay. I think it was not displayed at the first time, right? Now we have this character. Selected. Let's use magic. Let's use it here. KO. Moose Pup 30. So we have one capture on Moose Pup. I think KO is probably not the best. I mean, they are not dead, but... This was not... this is also KO. This is now red. And she was creating capture points on the Moose Pup. So, melee with normal attacks. Can I capture now? Failed. Okay, so maybe I should take notes. What is working against which creature? So, I'm not sure if, like... I mean, they all have basically two elements, right? Which is... The one seems to be the attack element, and the other seems to be the magic element. We will need to check that out. Let's just kill that thing and go on with it. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately we cannot check out our... Maybe we can. No, we cannot. We cannot look at the characters or what they can do. I'm also not sure what this 100 is supposed to do. Okay. So, all the characters are starting with different letters. Okay. Let me get a pen. Alright. So, yeah, cancel. Oh. Okay, now I think I broke it. Ah, no, we could have used it. Cancel there. Oh, and now I could go back to full screen. Okay, cool. Alright. 1 second. Alright, so let's continue our way here. Yeah, so usually I'm checking like is movement queued up or anything like that. But of course it's not. And when it's that slow, it also doesn't really matter that much anymore. So yeah, I mean that's not a good thing, but let me make a new list here. So we got the Electrosaur, the Foral Slime, and the Island Turtle. And we basically need to check whether... this character is selected first. Okay. So let's try the Electrosaur first. So basically with each character I need to check all 4 options, right? So L1 did not work. S1 did also not work. V1 also did not work. And why? She is KO. Why do we have her again and not Millie? Okay, let's attack Foral Slime. No, she's toast. Actually... No, Island Turtle, that was from Island Turtle. Okay, so I think Layla did damage to the slime and that did not work. So Millie attack Island Turtle. M1. Now we've got Sega. And that is working. So S1. And that basically means I'm just testing the other stuff now as well. Wildy attack. This is also working. So there are 2 elements working. Capture, okay. And this did not work. Okay. And now let's use the second option. Magic. M2. Saiga, magic. That didn't do anything. I'm not sure if I missed that. Wildy, Turtle. V2. And that is L2. And now we can use her again to get more. Actually, I can't undo that. Okay, well. Okay. Sega is using the second thing now. Magic. It doesn't do anything, but unfortunately there's also no feedback that it doesn't do anything, so that's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, it seems like that is not doing anything. So either way, we need to use attack here, which is generating capture points. We cannot see the hit points of the enemies, which would have been, yeah, nice. Let's see if we can capture it. Yes, we did. So that means that we can kill the thing in the future. So yeah, now we have the problem basically. The orientation, I mean, we have a mini-map, but we do not have a map. And just to walk around, it's so slow. By the way, you can hold W at least to move forward. But the navigation is so slow that it's a bit tedious to get anywhere. So, we have a lucky cat. Lucky cat. And we would then need to check check everything again. So, with melee, attack, sorry, M1, Saga, attack, S1, Valdi, V1, and Layla. This creature is toast already. And we already saw that this is not working. This is actually the critical thing. So, okay, if we want to kill them... No, this is not the critical thing. There is no critical thing, probably. I'm not sure. So, melee attack. Okay. I'm not sure what these values are actually supposed to do then, if we need to just generate these capture points anyways. Okay, so these are the credits and we can buy stuff with that. So we have Island Turtle. And a turtle that has a gravity-defying body of water on its back instead of a shell. Doesn't come from an island as we found it in the forest. However, it provides an island for a little frog friend. Do not try to separate from frog friend. You will get bit. Okay, that's cool. Confirm. So, we basically sold the turtle. Okay, let's buy a tiny health potion and tiny mana potion. Yeah, this cancel button is not doing anything. And then use the tiny potion on Layla. I mean, it would be great if we could see the hit points over here, because we are basically blind otherwise. We also cannot see what it is doing. So yeah, we generated a little bit of hit points back, but not a whole lot. So let's buy another one. This cancel. Inventory. Tiny. Layla. And the use item is probably then not useful for anything. Yeah, so there seem to be some relics in the interface from a template, I think. I should have noted down how much the potion actually did, so that we can... Okay, we have a flying fox. Flying fox. We have a moose pup. Moose pup. And we have a lucky cat again. And for the lucky cat, we already checked 3 options. But let's continue with the lucky cat. So we can use Sega. Okay. So it's S2. That is working. Why is it her turn again now? Yeah, that should have created another one. Okay. So that is Waldi. Maybe capture. Okay, so we need to have more. That is Layla. Attack. This seems to be a relatively brutal fight. If one of our characters dies, we are toast, but we cannot influence it at that point anymore. So yeah, let's use magic here and capture unlucky. I mean, I need to... That was 2 capture again. Failed. So we need to use it yet again. So we have found 2 options already. So I think we need to use the stuff on others now. Wildy Moose Pup. V1. We are at Layla and attack move. Okay, KO. 1. Okay, now we've got Millie again, and she can use magic on the lucky cat. Now we can try to capture it again. And I think that were 4 points to capture the lucky cat. Okay. And that one is KO. Flying Fox. We didn't test anything there yet. Attack. Okay. That was, I think that was Waldy, right? Layla. Attack. 1. Millie. Attack. And I think she's dead. Okay. So we need to use some potions. So we have 36 hit points now. Let's use this. This actually, it's written here that it's restoring 50. Okay. What happens if I... Yeah, use item. This is a dead button. Sega also needs to use that. And Millie is almost toast, so... We have full mana with everyone. Okay, rescue the lucky cat. Yeah, that was a harder one, so that's worth 200. A cat-like creature with deer antlers. Has markings shaped like a 4-leaf clover. Wildy claims her luck on the ship's casino is dramatically increased after petting it. The real question is, why does our ship have a casino? Okay. So... Can we sell multiple of these then to the to them, or are we limited? Because that would also mean that we cannot... we have a limited supply of money, basically, and if we get the wrong enemies multiple times, we are basically broke. We might get new mana on level ups, I'm not sure about that. Let's just dump everything into health potions for now. And then use some on melee. Okay. There's another lucky cat. And we've got a new one, a spiral dragon. Yeah. So the mana in the other menu was displayed as full, but here it's not. So there's something which is not working, I guess. So the lucky cat, we know what to do. We need to generate 4 capture points, and we need to do that with melee and saga, and both with magic. And I'm not sure, they can probably not do that. Capture. Okay. So we are again with saga. Okay. So we have 2 capture points now. And we are with Wildy, and we can try magic on Moose Pup, which did not work. And now we've got Layla, who can do magic on Moose, which also didn't work. And we've got Millie again, and she can use magic on the lucky cat. So we've got 2 points now. No, we've got 3 points now. Back at Saga, magic on the cat. Ah, no, okay. She doesn't do anything because she doesn't have any mana points left. Alright, so, okay. Wildy, we have the Spiral Dragon, so let's attack that. Layla. I think that gave us a capture point. But Millie is toast pretty much. So I'm not sure what Guard is doing. But let's use Guard. Ah, she is actually getting stuff back. But it's so little. Okay. So Saga. I think both characters which could capture the cat have no mana anymore. So we need to kill it basically. Okay. Let's kill that thing as well. Oh, okay. So Millie is toast. So let's see if that is game over then. I mean, no, she is dead anyways. Spiral Dragon. Okay, apparently we are not dead yet. Can we just heal her then? No, we can use that, but we cannot heal her. Yeah, that's broken. So she drinks, but she doesn't heal. So the mana you can see here is broken. Like the display, it's always showing 10 of 10, which is incorrect. We don't know how much mana they have, and that also means that we cannot use the mana potions efficiently. And we also cannot hand in the creature we have at the moment because we already had that. And that means that we are also running out of mana. So, yeah, that means that we have a very limited supply of everything. Of money, and that means we have a limited supply of hit points and mana. And that means that we also don't have any way to experiment, which then means that it's down to trial and error. And then restart the game and then apply what you already learned so that you can have it the most efficient way and capture them again. So that would be the only way I see how you could beat the game at this point, which of course is extremely tedious. Besides of this, noting down all these different combinations also being tedious already. I mean, it is a nice idea, but I think the execution is a bit lacking. So the game would need to provide much better information about what you already tested on the enemy maybe. And I mean, the general idea is fine, that you create, that you do damage or generate capture points. And you might want to think about, okay, do I have the time to generate the capture points? Maybe generating the capture point is easier than killing it with damage, or maybe killing it with damage is easier than generating the capture points. But you would then need to know how to generate what, which you don't have the information unless you note everything down with pen and paper, which I now did. But yeah, that's a bit tricky. And of course, yeah, we are dead already, and the game didn't realize that we are. I mean, we can continue playing, but we cannot resurrect melee, apparently. Unless there was some other item for resurrection. Yes, there is. Phoenix. Tiny... Well, I think Phoenix is just a mix of both then. Yeah. I mean, we can test... But I think with the next battle, yeah, we are dead now anyways, because the cats were strong. And we have no way in beating them. And even if we already handed in the turtle and we handed in a lucky cat. So this is a worthless fight, basically. And yeah. So the art is great. I mean, it's not personally my style. I saw that the artist did a pixel art game before that was more to my personal taste. But still, I mean, the art is great. But and very cute with the frog here on the head. But I think regarding the gameplay, there are several things which would need to be improved. And the first thing is the perspective and the movement, so that you are quicker in moving around and have a better orientation. Though, I mean, we hardly made like 10 steps or anything like that. So that's the thing with the random encounters, where, yeah, it's also kind of, we don't actually need to go into different areas unless you have cats only spawning in a certain area and other enemies spawning in another area. But right now it feels like, okay, we could just run in circles at the start. So the crawling aspect might actually not even be there, but we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 enemy types. Maybe the other enemy types are further down the road, I don't know. But either way, the navigation, so the perspective would need to be changed so that the view might be pulled back and we can see more of the surrounding. The movement would need to be faster, quicker, that we could, so that we don't need to wait for ages until we reach the next tile. And then with that also you would need to implement that you can queue up, that you can move forward right, and you don't need to wait until the forward animation is executed before you turn right. So that's a follow-up which would also need to be implemented there, I think. Yeah, regarding the spawn, I think that's... I don't like it in general, like these random spawns. But if they are that excessive as they are now, then you also basically stop any exploration. Because you cannot do like 3 steps before getting attacked again. And if you are making a game which is just about fight, which this one seems to be, and it's not relevant where you go, then you might get away with it. But if you want to do some exploration, this is just annoying, unfortunately. So I would do less. I mean, if you want to go with random spawns, which is fine, I would do much less of that. But of course you could also do some fixed spots for enemy types, or little areas where they spawn, so that you have, like, I don't know, the forest where you can move around freely with just less generic spawns, and then some cat area with lots of cat spawns or something like that, so that you could have a better idea of what you're doing, and some more exploration where you're not getting annoyed with being with having tons of encounters. So let me get back to my sheet here. So yeah, I think the combat idea is generally it's interesting. Also, it's a game where you have to, I mean, you have 3 enemies and you have different attack types, so there is depth there, but the communication needs to be better. But generally, I think the combat was fine. Or it was not perfect, but the idea was not bad. Then the art was great. The sound, you have this music which is nice, but there were no sound effects in game, and this would also be something which I would yeah, like to see if there was any changes to the game. And the theme implementation, or let's first talk about the story element, like going to the game and rescue these creatures and putting it on the arc, and this little story at the start of the game. That was quite cool. Regarding the duality and having these 2 aspects of each character, and that you can either kill or capture an enemy. It might be a bit abstract in some way, but it kind of felt like it was really a big part of the gameplay aspect. So I would say that it was a rather good implementation of the topic in some way. So overall, I think it is a nice entry to the jam, and a game which does have potential, but yeah, you would need to do some adjustments, which I mentioned before. So in any case, that was, and let me quickly go back again so that I have also all the names. That was a Project Celestial Arc by, and now I have to pronounce the names again, by Michael McEhern. Let me quickly set that to Michael McEhern, something like that, sorry. Then Mandy Lin and Avengi Barduja. Sorry. Yeah, so Project Celestial Arc. And if you want to see more games from the Dungeoncrawler Gamejam 2023, then make sure to either subscribe to the channel, check the playlist where I will put in all the videos, or of course you can follow the link to itch.io and test out the games yourself. And maybe you will already find, when you're watching this, you might already be able to find an updated version of the game, which might have addressed some of the issues. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.